I thought it would be a good idea to talk about why I'm doing this, what exactly it is I'm doing, and why I'm doing it. So, the grand plan, so to speak, is, a little adventure, I suppose, about recording a video every day for 30 days. And I believe it's day 9 or 10, I'm not quite sure. But anyway, that was the grand plan. And the question then is, why? Why am I doing it? Okay, I think a couple of reasons at least. One is to really, you know, nudge myself out of my comfort zone. And so what is my comfort zone? Well, it is, not necessarily making a video every day, maybe once in a while when I feel like it. That's part of my comfort zone. Another part of my comfort zone, or another aspect of my comfort zone, is actually thinking ahead of time about what I'm going to say. Even if it's not fully scripting it, but at least to have a clear idea of the lay of land, where I'm starting from and where I'm going to end up. and clearly I have not been doing that. So it's about just showing up every day for 30 days and recording whatever seems to be relevant or pertinent, or just whatever turns up in my mind. That's pretty much what it's been, part of what it's been to step out of my comfort zone. And then the other part is to just show up regardless of how I'm feeling, whether I feel like I want to do it or not. And it's a very delicate thing, this. What do I mean by that? Well, it's easy enough to think about times when I have been pressured by other people and other things, other situations, whether it's work or, other commitments that I've had, which, impose on me certain demands, and so I have to fulfill those demands. Okay, and therefore I just go ahead and do it. But this is not like that. If anyone is imposing anything on me, it's me myself. But here's another delicate aspect to this, and that is, am I really forcing myself to do this? I want to say that no, I am not forcing myself to do this. Rather, I am allowing myself to do this. And that is, a huge difference. When I'm forcing myself to do it, there's a lot of tension in the body. For instance, the body feels constricted, it feels sometimes heavy, it, can feel tight in the chest, it can feel, quite hot in the cheeks, tight around the forehead. And I'm being literal here. I'm being literal. And that's when I'm forcing myself to do something. But when I'm allowing myself to do something, that's a whole, I mean, even as I'm saying it, it's, the energy has shifted. I can feel that the drain of that tension away from my body, and, this loosening up, and this just spontaneous smiling that happens. And so allowing is truly a beautiful thing. And because so many of us are so conditioned to be forced into doing things rather than to allow ourselves to do things, we tend to feel, we tend to maybe not recognize the power of allowing, because we're so conditioned to doing it the other way, to doing it out of obligation, out of imposition, out of this sense of responsibility. But allowing is a whole different structure in the field of experience, and it is a whole different structure in the body. It's a whole different series of sensations. I shouldn't say series, but it's a whole lot of sensations in the body, and postures and gestures and so on that happen, that are quite different to when I'm doing something out of pressure, out of obligation, from somebody else's demands. And so to allow, I think, for most of us who've been conditioned otherwise, is almost like a skill to be relearned. We did it when we were little children. We didn't know any other way, right? When we were really little children, we just allowed. We were, I think I've said it before, we were just a natural yes to the world. And that yes was a yes of just allowing. So it's something that we knew how to do once upon a time. And now that we have to relearn that skill or rediscover it. And when we allow, I find that, that allowing comes with many, many beautiful companions. And one of them is, curiosity, a liveliness and a curiosity about, hey, what would this be like if I did this? How am I going to feel? And, it's not quite as intimidating when I approach something with curiosity, and with that willingness to just allow things. So, yes, what I'm doing here, showing up every day for 30 days and just speaking off the cuff, as it were, it's a bit of a little adventure. And I'm, discovering things about myself that, I maybe wasn't quite so in touch with. Like, I can do this. And even if it isn't polished, and even if it may not even make sense to other people, even if it's, garbled or rambling sometimes, it's okay. I'm fine with that. That's how it is. That's how I'm showing up, and it's perfectly all right. I tell you what, that's incredibly liberating. Okay, I've said enough, I think, for now. If you're watching this and, you know, something stirs within you, and I don't know, maybe it maybe inspires you to do something similar. It may not necessarily be about recording videos, but it might be something else that will kind of push you out of your comfort zone and into the field of discovery. Because that's what happens. You discover and you experience things and ways of being that you may not have otherwise. And so if it does, or at least, makes you think about it, please feel free to share your thoughts and your reflections, and whatever is nudging you at this moment. And wherever you are and whatever time of day or night it is for you, I really hope that you're having a good time, that you are filled with peace, and I'll see you next time. Bye.